Hey, what's up, everyone? This video looking at the Wednesday slate. We have a 9-game slate for tonight, so let's get right into it. Drop a like and subscribe down below before we get started. Let's start off here at point guard. We're waiting on the Karl Anthony Towns news. He's dealing with a left knee sprain. I expect him to miss, but we should get confirmation probably this afternoon, hopefully. But as of now at point guard here, I'm just going to run through if I'm paying up, who I like in the mid-range, and for value. If I'm paying up here, it's going to be for Drew Holiday, 78. Russell, I like him for a pivot to Holiday if you want. At 78, same price point. I like Kemba, 74. In the mid-range, it would be for Jamal Murray, 62. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 61. Terry Rozier, 6K. For value, I love Jeff Teague, 58. Draymond makes for a nice pivot, I would say. He makes for a nice tournament play because you don't know where the minutes are going to be, but if they are up there in this kind of matchup, he could have a triple-double out of nowhere against Carmelo Anthony defense. And for more value, maybe you could take a chance on like Thomas or somebody, but that's kind of where I'm looking at point guard, those 5-6 players I really like. And then for more value, you could play like Kobe White for tournaments. But a guy I like a lot right now is Jeff Teague, 5,800 for him. Don't know the status of Towns right now, but if he misses, Jeff Teague should get a big bump in all categories. He's been really good as of late. 2 50-point games in his last 5. He's playing a lot of minutes lately, which I also like to see. And he's been very productive in those minutes. So 5,800 in this kind of matchup. The Timberwolves have the highest total on the slate right now. This is a game stack, for sure a game stack. Both teams at least want to get 4 players total from this game, if I can. And I think if you want a sneaky stack, it could be the Warriors and Blazers. Nobody will really be on that late-night hammer. But I like the Portland side. Their production comes from 4 players. And then on the Warriors side, I like the prices on some of the players. And they're going to be low-owned. So that's another stack you could go to. And then the Bulls and Wizards, I like a couple players, but I don't know if I'll be able to full stack that game. But really, if you want to full stack a game, just stack up the Pelicans and the Timberwolves game. At shooting guard, I'm liking Holiday, Wiggins. Love Wiggins, 7,600. Don't mind Jaylen Brown or Jamal Murray or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Same players I mentioned at point guard position. I like Josh Hart if Redick misses again. I want to like Tim Hardaway, but he's so volatile that you can't really play him in cash. You can only play him in tournaments. If his shot's not falling, you're going to be in for a long night because he doesn't do anything else. Josh Richardson, 49, I think he's in play too against his former team. And then for a punt value play, it could be like Damian Lee. He's been starting in place of Eric Pascal. Pascal's back, but could still see Damian Lee get close to high 20s in minutes off the bench. But right now I said I want to stack up this game, and it's going to be Holiday for me. 7,800, really nice price point, really nice matchup. Should play a lot of minutes today. He's been solid in terms of floor. His ceiling hasn't really been there as often as we would want in years past and as often as we've seen in years past. But it's a spot where he can go off tonight and nobody will be shocked. Love targeting him. Today he'll be matched up hopefully against Jeff Teague. He could be matched up against Wiggins too. But neither one is a great defender. And Holiday is going to have a lot more facilitating role. Yeah, hopefully, Lonzo didn't impress, so maybe they'll start Josh Hart in this one. And if they do, then Holiday would have even more assist opportunities. And he's going to continue to chug. He took 28 shots. If I get 28 shots out of Holiday tonight, I can lock him in there at 7,800. Small forward, I like Andrew Wiggins, 7,600. Just want to get both sides of this game. Try to get 2 players from each side at least. Wiggins been playing great even with Towns on the floor this year. If you take Towns off, the rates for him go through the roof. Going to probably take 25-plus shots in that case. Been super aggressive this season in terms of driving to the rack, drawing fouls, and compared to years past where he just stand in the corner and do nothing for a lot of the drives. For a lot of the plays up and down the court. He's been involved on basically every opportunity. So at this price point, I'm playing a ton of minutes. I want to get exposure to Wiggins at 7,600. At power forward, I don't mind Bertans, 65. I kind of like Anthony. Jaren Jackson, viable. Gallinari came through last time out. I think you can go back to him at 6,300. Price point is still very appealing on him. And then going cheaper here, I like these 3 players. Markkanen, 59. Blake Griffin, 59. even though he's injured, he should play tonight, and that price point is just getting so cheap on Griffin where if he has a good shooting performance, he hasn't had that, but if he does, you're gonna be in for a good night playing a $5,900 Blake Griffin if he's not limited at all. But I think going back to Cody Zeller is really fine tonight. He's gonna play a lot of minutes. He drew the start yesterday. Nobody really played him at 5,400. I wish I stuck with him. I had him in the video, but I got off of him with the Lakers news. But I don't mind going back to him. He's been playing great. He's earned some minutes here. Probably over Biyombo, who hasn't been great as of late. Or last night Biyombo struggled a little bit. Zeller really outperformed him, and he is leading the team in fantasy points per minute without Washington on the court. And but Batum, although Batum might be back today, but if you get 30-plus minutes out of Zeller, he's always been a solid per minute guy. He's at a nice price point. And this defense is awful of the Cavaliers. They also are very bad at shooting the basketball, so it should be a spot where Zeller should be able to get a ton of rebounding opportunities tonight. Then at center, I'm looking at don't mind Whiteside 85, Porzingis 83, but I kind of like going cheaper here at center. Like Adams, I think is decent play. I like Valanciunas 6,300, and then Markkanen and Thompson are both in play for me. Probably Markkanen. I like him just given the matchup. It's such a good matchup for Markkanen against Washington. He's been playing some big minutes lately, and if he plays those minutes again, then in this matchup, he should be able to hit value. He's been better as of late in just terms of taking shots. He's taken double-digit shots in a majority of the games lately. He hasn't been making a high percentage of them, but he should be getting a ton of open looks tonight against the Wizards defense. It should be a high-scoring game as well. And then at forward, I like Brandon Ingram, $8K for him. Perfect. You get two Pelicans, two at the top Timberwolves players here if Cat misses, and you get the two best Pelicans. Ingram got off to a terrible night shooting the basketball, got off to a 1 for 9 or 1 for 10 start. Still managed to save his stat line with the rebounds and playing 41 minutes. Here, he took 23 shots. He probably could have taken even more if he was shooting the ball better, but it's a spot where I want to go back to him. 8K, especially if Redick misses again. Just a really good defense. We've seen both of these defenses cough up 130-plus points to multiple teams this year, and both offenses play fast. And just a good spot. I'm gonna be on this game a lot. So that's what I'm liking for DraftKings. And then for FanDuel, let's run through this one quickly. Point guard here, I love Kemba at that price point. I like Kemba. Jeff Teague at 6,500. And then maybe play Lonzo if he starts again, or Isaiah at under 5K. But right now, I love the price tag on Kemba on FanDuel. I mean, when you get the similar price point for Terry Rozier, just play Kemba. No Marcus Smart again tonight, so it should play 35, 36 minutes as long as this game is close. And this Dallas team did beat the Bucks in Milwaukee, so even without Luka, they can stay in games and stay competitive against good teams. Boston here on the road. Kemba just has a monster ceiling. I mean, at this price point, pretty easy to get to him. A high floor. Most games, he's going to get you 40s and can push it up to 50s. Especially without Marcus Smart, she'll get a lot of the assist opportunities for the team tonight. Shooting guard, it's the same players I like on DraftKings, Holiday, Wiggins, some Russell. For cheap here, maybe Schroeder, 58. Hart, I love Hart on FanDuel, 4,800, and Richardson, 47. But right now, Wiggins sticks out here, just given the matchup and given the uncertainty around Karl-Anthony Towns. He plays a ton of minutes here. Has a really good matchup. They faced a couple of tough teams lately, against the Clippers, Utah, the Lakers. And now it's a really, really good matchup for him. She'll be able to put up 40 fantasy points easily tonight. And he's at a nice price point on FanDuel. Small forward, I'm looking at Brandon Ingram, 84. Then I love this range right here with Jaylen Brown, Gallinari, Carmelo Anthony. I like Gallinari here, 6,500. Another good spot for him to put up a solid score against this Grizzlies defense. Terrible defense. They play super fast. Should be a lot of possessions for the Thunder at home. And Gallinari at 6,500 can put up 40 fantasy points and just crush value right now. And he's doesn't have the highest floor because if he's not shooting the ball well, he can hurt you. But he's always been a good shooter, and this is a spot where he should get some open looks. So I don't mind playing him at small forward. And then on power forward here, I like Kevin Love, 71. Markkanen's so cheap, 63. Griffin's cheap. Covington, if Towns misses, viable. But Bertans is probably the guy to go to, 5,800. Super cheap here on FanDuel. Going to probably straw the start in place of Hachimura. And is going to have to play some backup center minutes as well. And it's a spot where Bertans, we've seen him in recent games, just put up a huge score because just getting the minutes and getting open looks. And if he gets hot from three, he will just shoot. And he's a really streaky shooter too. So it's a spot where he should get open looks, and he's going to get a ton of minutes tonight. So no reason to worry about that. And the price point is so cheap. And then last but not least, at center here, I'm looking at like Embiid on FanDuel is so appealing, 94 compared to Jokic. I like Embiid a lot. And then if you want to go cheaper, I'm looking at like Adams, 6,400 against the Grizzlies defense. And I think you can go back to Zeller at 5,400 as well. And then maybe you could take a chance on Cauley Stein. But I think really it's Zeller, Adams, Valanciunas, Embiid are the main guys I'm looking at. Probably between Zeller and Adams right now. If I can save $1,000 and get to Cody Zeller in a good matchup here against the Cavaliers, playing minutes. It's always been the minutes for him. If he gets 30 minutes, he's going to make value here. Very rarely he will bust unless he's in foul trouble. So that's it. This is like the third time I've had to make this video because for whatever reason it's not recording properly. But hopefully this time it goes through. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow, and good luck today.